Bees Tech YouTube channel. Here we're going to do a unboxing of the JMH 2911, which is your indoor, outdoor, and mobile baseball or softball swing trainer. So if you have purchased extra the watertight case, it will come like this. If you just purchased without the watertight case, just the normal JMH 2911, it will come in a box also with the die cut foam and still the same setup as you see here, just no watertight case with the wheels. So so here we're going to do is we're going to basically show you what we have as far as contents go. So we have your 3 stakes. This is for your outdoor training, so you can stake it in to the ground outdoors. With your 3 stakes, you'll have either your baseball assembly or a softball assembly. Okay. You'll also have your rubber mallet, and that's really important for transitioning from your outdoor and indoor mobile base to the mobile unit on the hitch receiver of a truck or SUV, your 2-inch receiver hitch. You of course have 3 legs right here, as you see. 1, 2, 3. You have your upright, as you see here. This comes with a pre-masking tape here that you'll be able just to remove. You simply grab an edge and you start to peel down, and that removes it and leaves your reflective Bees Tech letters here. So that is your upright. You also have your fasteners for your threaded rod. This will go into the base. That is there. You have your wedge, which goes on the back side of the threaded rod. Okay, we'll show you how that goes together in just a second here. And then you have your, we call it the U-channel. It goes on the back or the rear of the horizontal arm on the upright. So once you have the upright in the base, that goes like that, and then we're going to show you how that assembles as well. So there is your horizontal arm. Here is your 3D printed part, and when this is this secures your bearing swivel. If you need to change out your ball assembly, or as you tighten it up, here's your bag of fasteners. This contains your fasteners for your legs. There's 3 bolts in there for your legs, and 4 bolts in there for the horizontal arm. Okay. And then of course your nuts and washers to go with that. And here is your base. This is your base. And inside your base you will find your 3 bearing swivels that come with the product, and also your 2 wrenches. This is your 1/2-inch wrench and your 3/4-inch wrench. This will control all the nuts and bolts on the apparatus. And then in the bottom, once you pull out the base, you will find your set of 12 bumpers. This is for if you would like to use it inside. On some of you have basement concrete floors or hardwood floors, so we included 4 bumpers for each bottom of each foot if you would like to use that. Okay, that is it. So that is your content. Oh, let me forget about this one, and your home plate. So right here is your home plate. This is for putting on the legs, so this helps kids in reference of where to stand in correlation to the plate. When they're standing there, it tells them all about how this apparatus is a swing trainer that is for training to the large parts of the field. That's left center, center, and right center field. And once you figure out that your correlation at your point of contact is right off that front hip, then depending on what pitch you're going to work on, the hands and the barrel correlation is pictured here on our sticker on this home plate. So this is very helpful whether you're just starting or if you've been playing baseball or softball for some time. So that is the contents of the JMH 2911, and now we're going to put it together for you. So once you have everything pulled out and you have assessed your inventory, okay, we want to start with the base. You want to pull out your base, okay, and you want to start to pull out your feet. Start with any foot, doesn't matter which one. You slide right on the ends, just like that. Okay. Once you have those, once you have 2 of them on there, you can reach over there and grab your 3rd. You just want to slide it on. And the circles in the bottom of the feet should be pointing out. And then we'll go from there to back to your fastener package and the long bolts that are in your fastener package. There's a long bolt and there's a short bolt. Those are the only two bolts in your package. The short bolts go with the horizontal arm on the upright, and the long bolts go with the legs. So we want to pull out all three of our long bolts. Set this back up here. And now you want to, these are carriage bolts, so they have a square right here. So you want to make sure you go inside into the square side, and that will go all the way in, flush to the square side of my leg. Once all three bolts are placed inside the legs, you want to grab 3 washers and 3 nuts out of the bag. All the nuts are the same size. All the washers are the same size in that bag. Okay? You want to put on the washer next, and then follow that up with your nut. And tighten that as good as you can get it, and then move to the next. Now you want to grab your 1/2-inch wrench that is supplied in your wrench kit, and now you want to tighten all 3 legs. Voila. Now, once you have that, it's very important that you assemble the base and make sure the base is sturdy now. Because now what you want to do is put in your upright. Now this upright's about 35 pounds, so you just need to be aware of that. And if you're not aware of that, you'll be aware of that when you put it in there. So here's what we want to do. We want to set the upright across your base like this. That way it exposes the hitch insert is down and that hole is up. Now what we want to do is we want to grab our threaded rod and the fastener package that came with the threaded rod. Okay? Inside that fastener package, you have a large washer, a lock nut, and a nut. Okay? What we want to do is we want to put on that large washer, and then the lock nut, and then the nut, and just get the nut on enough to make that nut flush with the top. Okay? Run them all to the top like that, and actually grab the large washer like that, and drop it down in that hole like that. So now you see how the threaded threaded rod is poking out of the bottom. Now you need to grab your wedge and thread the wedge on. The top nut here, you actually want to push up on that bottom wedge a little bit to expose that threaded rod, and then spin that nut down enough to just give you enough room to grab that threaded rod right here at the top. So when you put this wedge on at the bottom, right, take that wedge and put it on that threaded rod, and you can actually use the top to spin it clockwise to now start threading that wedge. You want to thread that wedge all the way until it's flush at the back. Once you feel it with your finger down here getting flush with the back, such as that, then you can stop. Okay? And then you're going to continue to thread that bolt down all the way until it's just snug. You don't even have to do it just until it stops with one finger. Okay? It's very important that your wedge is inside all 4 slide pieces of your hitch insert here. It doesn't need to be hanging over the side like that. It has to be inside. This wedge is sloped, and so make sure that is completely inside all 4 tabs Okay, now you want to pick up your base and you want to put it in opposite side of your tube. It should be going inside of the one leg that's coming out. Your two legs are on the back side. One leg coming off the front is the front side, and it should slide right in there, all the way back, just like that. Okay. For the next step, you'll need your U-channel and your horizontal arm. Okay. Your label that says "Do not stop ball rotation with your hand" goes up, of course. Okay. And then your U-channel will come around to the back. See that? And then that goes just like that. All right. So in order to get that there, you're going to need all those fasteners, the rest of the fasteners in your bag. Okay. So if you want to start with a bolt and a washer and a nut. So however you need to sort that and hold that, I always put it in my back pocket. Okay. So what we're going to do, once again, these are carriage bolts. So that square part of that is going to go flush. See how that goes flush like that? That is not flush. That is flush. That needs to go flush all the way to there. Okay. Once you have that, let it rest on your forearm. Bring your U-channel back around the back. The next step is a washer. Put that on there. Okay. Turn this so you can see it. Washer, and then grab your nut. And just get it on there enough just to get it started. You don't want to wrench it down because this thing it's still going to be loose. So now you have to reach back in your pocket, find you another bolt, find you another washer, and find you another nut. Come back with your forearm. Hold your horizontal arm with your forearm. Okay. Grab another bolt and go in the opposite side. Make sure it's flush. Take the washer. Put your washer on. Grab your nut and go to the back side of that. Tighten it up just enough to get it on there. Now you should be able to get them on there tighten enough to where you can almost probably not hold this. It may slide down if you let go of it like that. But now you can at least just hold on to that. Okay. Now you just keep going. You have two left. Bolt, however you pull them out. Bolt. Washer. Nut. Again, just tighten that down enough. And I should have one more bolt in my pocket. And I do, right there. Washer and bolt, last two. Washer first, then your nut. All right, now that it's on there, before you tighten that down, you need to make sure it's where you want to be height-wise, because this will go from 8 inches off the ground all the way down to 60 inches up tall. So based upon how where your kid is going to hit it or your adult is going to hit it, you need to get your height right here before you move to tightening them down. Okay, come back with a ball assembly and just eyeball it for about how high or how low that ball is going to hang. If you have a young child up here, it probably needs to go down further. If you have an adult up here, it probably needs to come up. So that's how you would adjust that. Once you have the horizontal arm where you'd like for it to be, you grab your 1/2 inch wrench and you tighten it down. And once you've tightened up your horizontal arm assembly with your 1/2 inch wrench, you take that, put that in your pocket. Next is your bearing. You want to grab one of your bearings, and in the end of the horizontal arm, it's threaded. This is where your bearing goes. Okay? So now you want to thread it in using your hand into the end of this. Once you get to the end, pull your 1/2 inch wrench back out. Tighten that up very well. You can lean into this one, make sure that's very tight, and then put that back in your pocket. Now you take your ball assembly, whether you had a baseball assembly or a softball assembly, and insert into the bottom. The bottom of this bearing is also threaded, and you want to go away from you. Tighten it up. Once you get it tight up to there and just snug, the black 3D printed part, your bearing swivel holder, it is grooved in the bottom to fit this bearing right here. So with the Beestack logo facing away from the apparatus, you want to slide that bearing right into that slip all the way down. And what that does is that secures that bearing from being thrown out of alignment. Okay? Now you can take out that 1/2 inch wrench again out of your pocket, and you're going to, there's a nut right here, which is a 1/2 inch nut that is actually machined into the apparatus, and you're going to go around and tighten that up securely, pretty good, and then that should be good. You need to make sure that's very tight, okay? And then you can pull your bearing alignment tool back off, and now ball assembly is in place. Okay, we still have to tighten this up. Okay, but you're good there. Last move, take your 3/4 inch wrench that comes with the apparatus, and you're going to tighten this up. Okay, as you tighten this up, it's going to pull that wedge in on the back side that we spoke about earlier, and it pulls that wedge in. Those tabs are there. Pulls that wedge in, and it spread those tabs out inside of this, and that's what's going to lock this up. So see how this is loose right now? So as I tighten this up, watch how it tightens up. It's not as loose anymore. Okay? You want to tighten this up all the way until it's very tight. Okay? And once you do that, now it's not loose anymore. Okay? Now you can stake it down outside, or you can put 45-pound plates with a 2-inch ID on this and weigh it down inside.